Do we wait for them?
Or we proceed?
Or we proceed?
Someone can unmute and speak.
Someone can unmute and speak.
So
Good evening, Dr. I think you can proceed. Thank you.
that is good.
perfect.
So like I said before, my name is Dr. Murungi, and I'll be facilitating you on this interesting course, which we call health education and health practices. When we talk about health practices, we cannot talk about practicing without knowing what we are dealing with. Is the echo gone now? Is the echo gone? I hope the echo is gone and we can. Not yet. Still there. Okay.
It's gone on my side.
Sorry?
There is no more echo.
Perfect. I'm happy to hear that. So when we talk about health education, we cannot talk about practices without talking about education. Education is very important because this is what guides the practices that we see in people. When we talk about health education, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you talk about health education? My voice is too low.
According to me, I would say
Yes.
this Irene, health education, I think, these are activities that children learn, yet they acquire health practices, as in ways to keep safe when they are playing, according to how I can understand it.
Okay, that's a good thought. And someone is telling me my voice is too low. My speaker's volume on my laptop are full. Am I audible?
Yes, I'm hearing you, doctor.
Is it low? Any other thoughts on health education and that we can borrow?
Okay, for me, Teresa here.
Yes.
Health education can be the knowledge about the well-being of a person. I'm done.
Knowledge of the well-being of a person. That is definition. Is it education? That's the definition of health. When we talk about education, it is about knowing the things we need to do to protect our health. When someone tells you, you wake up in the morning, you jog between 5 and 6, your day will be refreshed already. You do it and you realize your day gets on better. That is health education the person gave you. And the part of doing what the person told you, that is what we call health practice. So education is knowledge. Knowledge that tells you things you need to know about your health, and then what you need to do after you have the knowledge. And that is the practice part. So someone has defined the term health for us. I do not know. The definition is according to who? But the definition that we borrow, there are too many definitions that we can go with. But the definition that I would like to go with is the one by World Health Organization. The one that tells us that health is a complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. That is the definition by World Health Organization. And this definition came about in the year 1948. 1948. This definition is older than you, than everybody here. Hmm? I don't know, we can say it's as old as who, but this definition is old. Other definitions definitely have come up, because if this definition, you're younger than it, then other scholars, you can imagine, have tried to define health. And other people have said, even when you do not have finances, you're not well. We cannot say you are healthy. You understand? When you don't have finances,
Yes.
when you don't have money in your pocket, what happens to you? I'll tell you, I don't know what happens in Mombasa campus because I'm based in main campus. But I'll tell you my experience with the students, and I've taught for 16 years in Kenyatta University today. Yes, 16 good years. And what I've seen with our students, when they are coming, when they are reporting from home, they are loaded generation. They have money. Hmm? Money, money, oh. They have money. And they spend money. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. There is no joint in town they don't know. There is no eatery they don't know. There is no designer clothes they don't know, including the shoes. Then, as money disappears, they start having mental issues. It happens everywhere. Someone is saying that. So then they start having mental issues. They start missing classes. Yeah. They start collapsing in class and fainting. So it happens in Mombasa campus as well. They faint in class. Eh? When you rush them to the health unit, you call the ambulance. Oh, mtu ako na njaa. Eh? Where has the money gone? So they have mental destabilization. Is it funny? And I'll tell you, by the week they are doing exams, Kisa. Eh? That week they are doing exams. My friend, some of them are on your feeding program because they will not be able to do exams. They won't. They finished money. They have pirated on their friends' rooms and everywhere until they have been kicked out. We have an old library in main campus. That place Some of them make it their bonding place. Yeah, it's an empty space on top of what we used to call Moi Library. Eh? You see someone with a bag, anaenda analala hapo, in that bag akona mafuta, akona sabuni, anaoga tu kauso, anapaka kale ka mafuta, anaingia classes. Usiku ikifika, hapo ndiye anaenda kukula. Mazee uko na kakitu kimeumana, maubao imejaa nini, you know. So then we cannot say those people are healthy. So when you don't have money, that is a problem already. So now add that one to the World Health Organization definition, whereby we've said they have told us it is the complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Don't forget, we also say that everyone is mad. It's the degree of madness that matters. Yeah? How mad are you? Have you ever measured your degree of madness? Do others accommodate your degree of madness? People only know someone is mad when the degree of madness is above everyone else's degree. That's when you start saying this one is behaving abnormally. Especially those ones wanakula vitu huko kwenu, watu wanakula vitu yao sana. Not yet. Huko kwenu people eat, wako na madawa kalikali. Eh? Miandarati. Eh? I don't know the kind of drugs people do over there. But in KU, you'll find students who come to class high on whatever it says they're high on. In Mombasa, we see people injecting themselves. I don't know the drugs you're using there. Maunga, hata sisi kamchere imejaa this side. And our students in lower primaries use something they call mawikes. So the drugs are common for the young and the old. And we cannot say these people are normal. These people have psychological issues. They have mental issues. So not only money that can make you to be unwell, not only physically feeling pain that can make you unwell, not about having a disease that we can say you are unwell because of that, not because socially you don't have friends that we can say you're not well. Do you know if you're friends and you cannot relate with them, again, it's a disease. Oh, yes. So psychological reactions, psychological status is something that will determine whether you're considered healthy or not. The environment where brought up, the environment for you people right now, for Irene, for Rachel, for Abby, for Aisha, for Mariana, for Eunice, for Teresa, for Angeline, and those others, including Jemima. Na hao wengine akina Ndese. If wherever you're attending your class from, let's say, you are in a pub, then again, my friend, you're not healthy. Because one eye and one ear is on the phone, and the other eye and one ear is on other things. When you're in a club, which most of the students, I don't know, I've not taught accept the holiday students for a long time because I prefer taking a rest and going on holiday with my family. My family is young. So I prefer taking that rest. And if I work round the clock, I teach regular, I teach You institution based, then I also teach digital. Then for me, I experience burnout. I'm not normal. I'm someone who would like to work and rest. I work and rest, so I don't teach institution based and I don't teach the digital students. I only teach the regular students and I get satisfied with the work I've done. I take my rest until another normal semester comes. And then I teach and then again I take my rest. And I know you're wondering, so why are you teaching us this time? The current chair says you've, and it's actually, this is over 10 years I've not taught the part-time programs. Rest is healthy. Yes, Irene, very, very healthy. You cannot take my rest from me. And you can be sure I'm teaching you because the regular students are in session just the same time with you. Otherwise, I cannot teach during my rest. I have to rest, take care of my babies, and feel good about my family. Then I come and work. Because that's the only time I can be normal. Yes. Long time. When was that? Kwani, how many years have you studied? Kilimo. You must, yes, you have to balance your life so that you can be normal. 2016, I guess even that one was one ile unaambiwa please just saidia okolea hapa. You know. So you can imagine that is it. You have to strike a balance to be healthy. And then for you to be healthy, you must know, and this knowledge is what we call education. You must know what can affect your health. And many things will affect our health. Oh, practicum 4. Yeah, are you sure I'm the one who taught you? I don't think so. Maybe the name that appeared on the photo was mine, but I don't know. But I remember this name actually. I remember, no, I think I taught 307 Mombasa campus or something. Is it? I don't know. But your face, I remember talking to you. Maybe it's that thing, your the 412. So why are you doing 105 now if you finished 4? Just
That's a long story, doctor. Let's continue.
let others learn. These are the things you're talking about. Eh? Allow me to use your case, Eunice. There are students,
Yes.
there are students who come and have taught, like I've said, have taught for a number of years, for so many years in our main campus, our regular students that come there, both undergraduates, masters, and PhD. And I have seen students who come, they take 1 unit a semester, 1 unit a semester, 1 unit a semester, 1 unit a semester. My friend, I don't know when they get to finish. So I hope you're not one of those people. Others come, they take a break, they go do business, they go out of the country, they do other things. And then they remember, oh, I was still a student. Because you're allowed to take breaks, to call off, and come back and finish without restriction on the duration. But some universities like KEMU will not allow you to go on and on and on and on. Yeah? They will want you to know you can only take your studies between this year and this year. After that, you're deregistered. Even KU will do that for our master student. Ukikaa sana ukiandika thesis yako, unaambiwa you are deregistered, you will come again and apply another time to continue your studies. Well, there are things that can make us to behave differently, but the knowledge of what is affecting us is very, very important. The knowledge of what happens around us is very, very important. One, do you know eating well can give you balanced hormones? Do you know that? Do you know when you do not sleep well, you are going to be agitated, you're not going to be able to relate well with the others, and you're going to have issues with people. Your temperaments will be flaring, they will be high, which is not healthy. But then the root cause is you are not sleeping. You are students, I know. You are supposed to study, I know. But you're supposed to balance. Right now, you're coming from work. I guess this is all your classes are in the evenings. You come from work. Yes. From work, even without taking a cup of tea, pap, you're into class. I don't know whether you caught a plane, you caught a train, you rode a bus, you rode a bike, you rode a motorbike, you drove yourself to find yourself in this class from your workstations. I do not know. All that I know is that the speed and the time. And also the time the class sends to the those that are mothers, those that are married, those that have responsibilities. To the time you cook, like someone is telling us here, my friend, all I know is that that stretch, I don't know whether you will be able to handle it throughout the month of, we're in April, May, June, up to July. Monday, is it to Saturday or to Sunday? Because I understand you have a class on Saturday. Well, I expect some mental breakdown. I expect some people to miss some classes and come back. It is it is expected because your body is not mechanical. Your body needs some rest. There is a day you run and come and you realize umeshindwa. You see these people are still coming. Maybe someone mtu ameketi kwa matatu gari haijai. And then Moronge is here asking, why is this person? They have not come to class. I don't like this behavior. I want everyone to attend class. There is no quorum. I'm not happy. You are only, right now, you're 14 because I'm logged in with 2 gadgets. So you're 14. You are not yet 30. So again, I know by the time even that 7:30 is coming, someone is arriving. So what we need to know is have the knowledge of things that are affecting you and try and strike a balance. I know you did this last semester, so somehow you know how to strike a balance. Some people will get a support system so that they can be able to manage. Others, there are days you'll say, my child just needs me. If you have a baby, you say, today, just allow me to have my baby. Because now it's class, it's work. I don't even have time with my children. Allow me time with my baby. You know? And I won't come and tell you, I will not allow you time with your child because this is the scheduled time for us to have class. I will understand. What would I do in the same situation? When you don't understand people, you give them psychological problems, especially the students that are on your mode, that are working during the day and standing during the evening, and then those that have family responsibilities, doing chores, and maybe in a difficult family where the man does not understand or where the children need you and you have to be in class. I have taught those that used to come way back then from home, they were maturer than you, and I know the struggles. And like someone is saying, they are real. It's true. These struggles are very real. You need to have knowledge of everything that is affecting you. Know what is working for you. This is knowledge. And that knowledge is what we are calling education. So the knowledge you have about things that affect you, your mental status, your social status, your financial status, your family status, put it there because I can see a number of you like are mothers. And that is why this is institution based. If you're not mothers, you'd have come to regular, I believe. Some of you decided to go the family way and study during holidays and, it's one band with two stones, which is okay. Know what is affecting you in your workstation. Know the deadlines that you are supposed to meet and plan your time, because you're not carrying things home this time and have it easy. So you have to organize yourself in such a way you are removing things based on the knowledge that you have about yourself, your limits, how far you can go, how much you can accommodate, so that you can improve on your health. I'm not seeing Beatrice anywhere. There is no one pending on my. There is no one on the screen. Just tell her to try, because everyone, whoever comes in, I'm seeing them, and there is no one right now. Hakuna mtu kama huyo. So mwambie labda alijaribu akafikiria bando yuko hapa, ajaribu tena. So we want everybody to come, so let's wait for them. Okay. Is it Beatrice Kimeo? She's there. Ama ni yupi? Okay, anyway, no one is pending. She's in. Okay. Or maybe she requested and she thought she was not in or something. Anyway, understand yourself. Seek all the knowledge you need. What do you need to eat? How do you need to dress to keep yourself safe? If you're working, how are you? By the way, your teachers, you're not in school. Why are your classes in the evening, if I may ask? Because I thought you were working and I remember you're not working. Mko nyumbani because of COVID. Ama ni holiday. So actually this time things are easier for you people. Okay, na vyenye mnajitetea hapa. Kumbe hata mmeshinda tu hapo kukunywa chai na kukula. Okay, those that are working is understandable, but those that are teachers in the schools, they're actually not working. They are at home. Now, understand what is working for you. That knowledge is what we call health education. Know the foods you need to eat. Right now, kuna corona. Okay, Kisa is saying she's working, so some are working. Because I would have actually moved this class to mchana. They said it's 5:30 in preparation from me. Oh, okay. Yeah, we hope schools will reopen then. So then we are thinking, find how you need to protect yourself. Now kuna corona. How are you protecting yourself? You're told when you go out there, when you come in the first thing, you go take your shower, all those clothes, they are sanitized, they are cleaned because you don't know what you've carried. Now, I don't know when you do that and whether when you get home, you have time to go sanitize yourself, get yourself all cleaned up, wash the clothes, make sure you've removed all the germs so that you don't get corona, and again come to class. I do not know when you're doing this, but this is the knowledge that you will have to have so that you plan with that in mind, you know. So that was what we call health education. Then health practice. We've seen this is whereby you do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you do what you're supposed to do, and you do what you're supposed to do to have a good health, considering your human biology. Yeah, considering your genetic makeup, considering your inborn acquired conditions, considering your environmental factors, the quality of water, its availability. Do you have recreational spaces where you live? Do you make use of them? We said exercise is good, and someone will tell you exercising is good. Do you exercise? Do you jog? Do you do an exercise that will help to stimulate your blood, your organs, your muscles? When we talk about health, we are also referring to your lifestyle. Yeah? Aspects of it, like the foods that you commonly eat, what you eat on top of the physical activity you're doing or the physical activity that you're not doing. Healthcare services that consist of prevention, treatment, and management of illnesses, and the preservation of mental and physical well-being. So this is Jennifer karibu sana. Through the services offered by the medics, the nurses, and the health professions, you have to consider all these things as your knowledge so that you come up with a formula that is working for you. And this formula is very important for you if you're a mother. Like I'm seeing many here are mothers. I've not seen a man, by the way. Do we have a man in this class? I'm seeing most of you are mothers. So these mothers here, you are not only thinking about yourself, you are thinking about your children, your husband, yeah, your parents. You carry the whole generation by the virtue of being a woman. In order to maintain and improve health, we need to advance and apply our health science, as well as to make wise individual and societal efforts and lifestyle choices. Oh, yes. All this you have to consider as part of your health education. And we've said what you know is your health education. Doing so is necessary because then health is a resource for everyday life and not the objective of living. You know, we need to be healthy. When you are healthy, you are in a position to live effectively. Now, we've said this is the knowledge we have is health education. Yeah? Our knowledge can be used in varied ways, and we can assign different meanings to it according to whatever context we want to. However, broadly, we say education, and here I'm talking education, not health education. Education is a lifelong process. Hmm? There are things you're learning, including now, that you did not know. So education is a lifelong process of acquiring knowledge, skills, and attitudes that lead to desirable permanent changes in behavior. you know. Now, before I leave the health education aspect or the knowledge, you cannot talk about health education when you've not considered the communication aspect of this information. So people need to be motivated, to have skills, to have confidence that can enable them to take action to improve health individually and as a society. This is a requirement when we think of developing health practices. Health practices that we believe will bring about the best possible state of well-being. You know? Because why do we consider health? Because we want the best possible state for myself, my children, my family, and you want the same for yourself, isn't it? So you can do this formally, you can do this informally, and you can do this non-formally. Now, having said that, we can also say health education is the sum of all experiences which favorably influence habits, attitudes, and knowledge related to individual and community health. In other words, health education strives to enable individuals and groups of people to realize their health needs and match them with necessary health related behavior. When we talk about formal health education, it involves carefully organizing opportunities for learning, communicating knowledge, and developing life skills which are conducive to individual and community health. Through health education, individuals and groups of people learn to behave in a manner conducive to promotion, to maintenance, to restoration of health, such that the physical health is taken care of, the mental health is taken care of, the social health is taken care of, the emotional health is taken care of, spiritual health. This is another dimension. Spiritual health. You go to church on Sundays. Do you?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do,
And
madam.
others also go, isn't it? I want someone to tell me why they go to church. Why you wake up every Sunday, you prepare yourself, you go to church.
I go to Catholic Church, and the reason why I go to church is because there is going to be a spiritual nourishment and how to live well with self.
It makes you feel relieved. It makes you feel happy. And it makes you feel is something else that we need to focus on. The environment that you're raising your children, the environment that you're living in, is it working for you? Is it favoring you? Or is it against you? All these are things that we need to consider when we think health education. Now, having talked about all those aspects of health, the physical, the mental, the social, the emotional, the spiritual, and the environmental health, then we can move on to practices. And these practices means me and you behaving in a manner that promotes and in a manner that maintains and in a manner that restores health. You know? Having said that,
Am I audible? Okay. I guess I moved from the network. I'm back. We should stabilize.
I'm back. I'm back now. I moved out of network. Okay. You are lost again. Okay.
Okay. I hope I'm audible now. Sorry for that. A moment, I take care of the headphone. I think that's okay now. The headphone is gone. All right. So then we can, and on the activities, okay, thank you. I moved out of network. I went to the kitchen. Some windows were open and the mosquitoes were getting in. So I guess I went far from my Wi-Fi. Sorry for that. So then what I'm saying is that we need to consider the health, education, and the practices. And you're saying the practices is doing exactly what we have agreed to do, or what the knowledge that we have tells us to do. Now, we can categorize practices into various aspects. When you go to the LMS portal, I've given some links and some videos that when you go through, you'll be in a position to understand some of the things that we're talking about better. We can categorize practices because health for different people will require different practices. We can take children and look at their health needs. Yeah? We can say they also have physical needs, mental needs, social needs, and so on and so forth. So starting with the physical health needs of children, we need to have the knowledge. That's what you've said. So that we can promote health, we must have the knowledge. From knowledge, we need the skills. And then from the skills, we can promote health. So physically, we need to understand the needs of a child. What do they require? And I would want this part to be a bit interactive. I will ask Mary, what are some of the physical needs that children have? That when they're not met, it can affect their health. And of course, everything will affect their health. Mary Mlongo.
Yes, doctor. Okay, some of the physical needs, for example, care of the baby's bodies, being, when they are playing, they need to be taken care of so that they can avoid being involved in danger.
Okay. That's some good thoughts. Irene, what are some of the physical health needs that children might have? Alice, sorry. Alice Maina.
Nutritional needs.
Jemima? Thank you, Alice. Jemima?
There is shelter.
Shelter. Mariana? Aya, there is no elek. Hakuna stima huko. What happened? I don't have elek. There is no elek here. Sorry for that. I don't have lights in my standing room again. I went to sort that out. Rachel, what are some of the physical health needs?
Food.
Food. Teacher Aisha, sasa ni nani anaitwa Teacher Aisha na kwa class na hiyo jina yake ni Teacher Aisha. Whoever is Teacher Aisha on this line, but when you come to class, you come with your good names. Teresa? Huyo Aisha taongei. Teresa pia tu alienda ama yuko.
No, I'm here. Clothing.
Okay. Perfect. Now, there are a number of health needs. Thank you, Teresa. There are a number of physical health needs that human beings require, so that, including children, so that they can guard their bodies against disease. Someone has told us, nutritious diet. Yes, a nutritious diet that is adequate. They require adequate clothing. Someone mentioned clothing, but this clothing is not just that you can wear on the top and on the bottom there is nothing. So you require adequate clothing, meaning from your feet there is socks, there is trouser or dress, there is a sweater, there is a scarf if it's cold, there is Marvin if it's cold, and so on and so forth. So adequate clothing, not just clothing, but it must be adequate. Someone mentioned about shelter, yes. But again, the word here is adequate. Is the shelter adequate? Is it adequate? It has to be. The shelter has to be adequate. Sleep has to be adequate. Then children require immunization against diseases. You know the immunizations that they are given from when they are born up to 5 years, 10 years, depending on what immunization you're giving them. If it's baby friendly or it's the one for public hospitals. Then exercise. A healthy living environment is a requirement for us. You know, when we talk about adequate nutritious food, what are we talking about? How do we know it's adequate? How do we know it's proper? How do we know this? Proper nutrition. This means that the intake of nutrients that a child needs so that they can grow normally to their optimal levels from when they are born is taken care of. So you cannot say once in a day you give a balanced diet and then the remaining part of the day you can give whatever it is you want. No. It has to be enough for optimal growth and development. So whatever it is that is being intaken, it has to be balanced diet. And it has to be adequate. It has to be enough. You also remember when children are born, their metabolic rate is high. It's high because their brain is also growing and developing. So at birth, the metabolic is very high. That's why every other time the child will be breastfeeding as much as you give them the nipple, as much as you give them the breast. They'll keep breastfeeding. They fall asleep, they wake up, they continue breastfeeding. They breastfeed when they're sleeping. And this goes on and on and on. Why? Their metabolism is rich. Sometimes you even wonder, hey, amekunywa mingi anaweza pasuka tumbo or something. Their metabolism is high. What does this mean? A newborn should be adequately nourished. And remember, when a child is born, don't tell me we are talking about unga ya wimbi, wapikie uji, sijui nini na nini. This is the mother's milk. So the supply must be constant and enough. You cannot afford to say imepotea. How? Mtoto akunywe nini? Hakuna option. Formula milk is not the best. Breast milk is. And we say the human breast milk is ideal for newborn babies. The formulas are okay. They are there, they are substitutes, but they are not 100% like a mother's milk. So they need that. but you can supplement and substitute breast milk with this in case the mother does not have enough milk. You can substitute, but you're advised to eat well until your child gets enough milk from you and not the other way around. When children breastfeed on milk, breast milk, for 6 months non-stop before they are weaned, we say that they have better cognitive development. And also their mother-child relationship is secure because their bond is strengthened as they breastfeed and look into the mother and the mother looks into the child. Their bond is strong, you know. Children, research has shown that children who are breastfed are less prone to infections, meaning they don't get as sick as those that were given formula milk and or those that were not breastfed for 6 months non-stop. They also don't seem to get food allergies. Those others get food allergies. Those that use formula, it's chemicals, they might end up having food allergies and allergens as they grow up. Their IQs of children who have been given breast milk for over 6 months, for 6 months at most, or even beyond 6 months, their IQ scores are always points higher than those that were given formula milk or were breastfed for a shorter period. Their immune is also low. Low for those children that were not breastfed for 6 months at most, or even beyond. Now, when children are introduced to weaning at 6 months, this one helps to compensate whatever they were not getting from the milk. And again, because at this level, their body has also matured and is not getting all that it needs from the milk after 6 months. This is the point where there is need to upgrade. Even if you have milk, you cannot continue giving milk alone now. You have to upgrade and you have to add supplements onto your food. Supplement the milk with other foods. Research that has been done on children that have not received good nutrition, they have serious negative effects during childhood. The younger the child, the greater the risk of undernutrition and the greater the degree of malnutrition. The worse the outcome. We are also told undernourished children are at risk of illness, at risk of cognitive delay, and at risk of poor social skills. When you think of those that are not under, they are overnourished. Those ones that are overnourished, they also are at risk of obesity, of diabetes, of heart disease, and a shortened lifespan. So now when we think about undernutrition and overnutrition, these are things that we need to understand as early childhood practitioners, as early childhood educators, as people that can influence the society on what is under its ranges from mild inadequacy of nutrients all the way to starvation. You also need to understand mild to moderate undernutrition that constitutes a threat to a child's achieving his or her potential in the cognitive abilities. Undernourished children, we know, are typically easily distracted and fatigued. Research that have been done and continues to be done on this area tells us that when children skip breakfast, they perform worse on tasks of memory and concentration than when they eat breakfast. Children with inadequate amounts of protein in their diets have also been found to have lower achievement scores than their counterparts with adequate protein intake. You know, even though we talk about treatment of kwashiorkor, and kwashiorkor is what we call protein deficiency. This has to do with the provision of adequate protein. Proteins are important. They're important for cognitive development, and they're responsible for cognitive damage. And when they are responsible for cognitive damage, that state is not reversible. When the cognitive is damaged, it is not reversible. When starvation is experienced, or where there is insufficient food intake, children suffer marasmus. And on the other hand, the body preserves vital functions first. So when children are not getting what is sufficient for them, they'll develop marasmus. And then their body will stop functioning in other areas and only save the energy for the vital functions. Yeah? Like metabolism task, kusiaga chakula kwa tumbo, leaving a little energy for cognitive development. That is the risk the body wants to take at you're not taking enough and whatever is there and goes to cognitive development. It doesn't work. Or you think it will go to social activity when you're not eating enough? That will not happen. And remember, cognitive development and social activity is key for a child's normal development. Now, when a child continues taking inadequate calories, they lose weight, they become stunted in height, they don't grow to the length where they were supposed to get to, and the child's hand circumference is negatively affected. Consequently, children with marasmus get wasted appearance throughout the body. Yeah? All you see is sagging skin, sagging skin, sagging skin. And then they remain retarded, and their height is stunted. When we talk about adequate nutrition, we can talk about micronutrients deficiencies, like iron deficiency. You know, whereby they end up getting decreased number of red blood cells, and so oxygen is not carried to all parts of the body the way it's supposed to be. You know, when you do not have enough iron in the body for you and even for the child, You don't have enough oxygen. And like right now, when it's Corona time, as complications of breathing start, naturally you are getting very low oxygen. And when Corona strikes, your oxygen supply goes down drastically. So children need to eat well, we need to eat well so that we can boost our iron levels in the body. So when you go to the hospital next time, make sure you take an HB test so that you know whether your HB is normal or abnormal. When your HB is 12 and above, like to 14, that is good. When it goes beyond 14, maybe it is 15 or 16 or 18, you can consider donating your blood because you have more than enough. Not that it's unhealthy, but you have more than your body requires you can give out when blood drive funds come. But make sure, even you as a mother, because I'm seeing most of you are ladies, I've not seen a man, and I keep saying this, make sure you test your HB. You are our KU students, you can go to your unit over there and request to do an HB test so that you can know whether your HB is 12 and above or it is below. When it is below, you don't have enough oxygen going around your body. You are naturally tired. You get fatigued. You have headaches. Where others have energy, your energy levels, even if you've eaten, will always be lower. So you need to check so that you know whether your HB is normal. If it is not normal, it's below 12, like 10, that one is not serious. All you need to do is eat veggies and fruits and things like that. But then if it is 8, you're already feeling that you're lacking breath, you're having headaches, you have fatigue, you go from work to this class, the hand is banging, you cannot sit through, you need to be checked. And also you need to check your diet, because your diet is what will continue sustaining your HB levels in your blood. And the same thing you're doing for yourself, do it for the children. Are they complaining of headaches all along, all day through? Are they always tired? Even when you wake up in the morning, you're tired. You need to check. You need to check and confirm their iron levels in the body. And it's measured by a test called HB. Children with marasmus, we've seen have a problem. So when you have kwashiorkor, you have marasmus, and now you have iron deficiency. A lot goes wrong on your IQ, and all this is not reversible. Even you as adults, your IQ status can just shrink. Normally, and I believe I posted this on the videos I posted for you under this particular topic. Your neurons are supposed to be alive, wired, and active. They are up like wires, moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Of course, not up and down, but they go back and forth because they are communicating, they are picking information. You see how my voice is going when I'm speaking on your screen? It shows I'm speaking. Your brain neurocells are active and they pick information like those 3 lines you're seeing. Yeah. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, picking information, transmitting it, picking and transmitting, picking and transmitting, picking and transmitting. That's the job your neurons does. But this may not always work, especially when you have those problems that you've mentioned. Kwashiorkor, marasmus, anemia, yeah? And these are diseases that are mostly associated with low socioeconomic classes. Yeah? It's hardly a problem for those that can afford to eat what they want when they want to eat it. But also they have a problem of nutrition whereby you overeat. And the results again are not good. Those that are poor, they undereat and at a risk of iron deficiency. Then those that have money, they overeat and they are at a risk of obesity. Yeah? They have chronic mild overeating. Yeah? They have negative psychological and health effects. They have shorter lifespan because they are obese. They have more cases of high blood pressure. They have more cases of higher cholesterol levels. They have increased incidences of diabetes. They have problems of hip and knee joints because of the weight the body is carrying. Obesity is most effectively treated when interventions are at an early age before the body is used. But it can also be genetic. So if your genes are those ones that allow fat to accumulate, then you need to watch your diet and exercise a lot because your body will have a tendency of storing the fat. Yeah? Research has been done and it says children who are obese at 6 years, they also get obese at adults. And they also say 75% of teenagers who are obese or who get obesity, they become obese in adulthood. So what does this mean? It's important to check children's weight as they grow. And greater attention should be given to those who are overweight, especially during their adolescence. Yeah? How can you treat it? Do a lot of exercise, decrease food intake, and go for family counseling so that you know what food to eat and at what time. Yeah? Then water is something else that is very important that we need. We need water. Children need water. Adults need water. We cannot do without water. Our bodies are 70% water. You know, water is important for metabolic processes. It is a solvent for many bodily solids. It is a constant supply, and it's needed to replenish the fluids lost through your normal physiological activities, like sweating, as you breathe in and out, as you urinate. Yeah? The research has told us that human beings can survive for several weeks without food, but for only a few days without water. Yeah? So, different people need different levels of water in their bodies. And it's also subject to how much physical exercise you're doing, your environmental temperature where you are, the humidity of the place where you are. Except people in climates that are considered hotter, like we can say, you people in Mombasa, your climate is hotter than in Nairobi here. So you require more water intake than us. Yeah? You understand? Those that are in the US, their water intake levels are different in comparison to us. You know? When someone says you should drink 2 liters of water, that is relative. It depends on your environment, on your physical activity, the humidity of where you are, your respiration, and frequency of urination. So when someone says 2 liters, you take 2 liters and you realize it's not enough. So take what is enough for you. You know, someone will tell you take 8 glasses. Even 4 might be enough for you, depending on all those things we've listed. So I will not be quick to say take 8 glasses of water. I do not know about your activity and your environment and all these things for me to tell you the amount of water to take unless I live in your own environment. Yeah? So observe yourself. Know how many times you pee or urinate because you're not men. And then look at the color of your urine. You will know whether to take more water or to reduce. Is it light yellow color? I do not know. Did you check your urine this morning or before you joined this class, Mary Mlongo?
Yes, doctor, I checked.
What color was
Yes,
it? Yes. What color was it?
it was pale yellow. Yes?
Okay, that one is not banned. But when it's going to any color, it actually means you need to take more water. So whenever you can see anything, you can say it's like a color. Then it means you need to take water. Otherwise, when you take water and your body is functioning normally, your urine is supposed to be clear. It's just supposed to be like water with no color. Others, it will be very deep like true tea. Then in that case, you need to go and see a doctor. You could be having issues with your kidney, with your gallbladder, with your liver, and you need to see a doctor immediately so that they can test and see why there is too much urea in your urine, and they can be able to sort it out. So look at the color of your urine. Yeah, even the smell of your sweat. If your sweat smells heavy, then it means you also need to take a lot of water to detoxify. You have a lot of toxins in your body. And I hope you're together on this. And as much as you monitor yours, you also monitor for the children. Ensure good health. Take water. Take a lot of water. You cannot say, and a lot of water here, if it is 4 glasses, 8 glasses, 12 glasses, your body knows it will tell you when it's a lot and when it's less, depending on your body. So if you take 8 glasses, do not force anyone else in your home to take 8. As long as their urine is clear and their sweat is not smelly, of course, sweat will have its mild smell. But if it's too strong a smell in your sweat, then again it tells you need to take water. And if you sweat and you can literally see white things under your armpits, outside the dresses you're wearing or the tops that you're wearing, you can see a white layer that has formed after your sweat. Huku mwisho mwisho kwenye kuna kauka, it gets white like. Those are salt deposits. You need to take a lot of water so that you can remove all these excess toxins in your system. Otherwise, if it does not come out, it will be stored in your kidneys, in your gallbladders. It can also be stored in your liver. And then you have what we call kidney stones. And they're very painful. Yeah? A very painful experience to deal with and even to sort. You can imagine the liver, how soft it is, and then having a stone. Cement hapo ndani. Kana kukatakata tu. You can't move, you can't, you have to be, ukae mahali moja, one position. Ukauke hapo. Otherwise, every movement is pain. You scream. So take water. Water will help to dissolve a lot of things. Now, to ensure good health, take water, but also safe drinking water. The water you are taking has to be safe. Otherwise, if it's not safe, if it's not clean, if it's not buoyant to kill germs or purified in whatever methods that you use to purify in the regions where you are at, then it's not safe for drinking. Make sure the water that you're taking is safe for drinking. Yeah? All right. Having said that, when you get water for drinking, also mind how you store it, because it can be clean from the source and contaminated in your own hands as you store it in your storage facilities. You cannot say the water was treated when it came to your house. It went to a tank, it's been there for 5 months, and you still think that water is clean because it's in a tank. It isn't. When it came, it was. But as it sat, other things have happened because there are living organisms in that water. There are microorganisms that are alive in that water. There are viruses, there are bacteria that are able to grow and multiply when water sits in a tank for a long time, or when the tank is not cleaned regularly. And it develops those algae. There are snails swimming under the water and many other things, and you're taking it because you say, oh, this was treated by the company when it was coming here, so it's clean water. We drink clean water from the pipes. Even those pipes could be rusted, even though the water was treated at the source coming to your house. It can be contaminated depending on the status of the pipes that are delivering water to you. But again, water is life. It is good to take water, purify it, make sure it's safe. Yeah. There are a number of ways you can purify water that you can go through on your own. And having said that, I will talk about sleep. Sleep is a good thing. We need to sleep adequately to rest well, like you now. After this class, after the cooking, after the marriage activities, the morning activities, the chores, and then work, and then back to class, to cooking, sorting children, chores, bed activities, what activities, all that which you are doing might deprive you of enough adequate sleep. You're supposed to sleep and rest well. It's a natural thing. God created night so that we can rest. You know, when you are asleep, your muscles relax. Your brain does not sleep, but the activity is also reduced. But your brain does not go to sleep. It works. That's why when you wake up, you remember the door was locked, the kitchen tap may be running, you wake up, go, close it and come back to bed. Sleep is important. Like diet and exercise and clean water, sleep is another thing that your mind and your body will require to function normally. I don't know whether you've seen the clip of Mr. Bean supporting his hirelings with toothpicks because he wanted to remain, awake, and their eyes refused. So don't let your body shut down because you're not allowing it to rest. Please rest and for enough hours. Not just resting for like 20 minutes, you say I've rested well. Rest well for enough hours. Yes. Mariana, your mic is on. Okay. I thought you wanted to speak. So make sure you rest well. Research that has been done on animals, in particular mammals, reptiles, and birds, it also indicated that they need sleep. Sleep is a requirement for survival. Yeah. An experiment was done with rats. Rats were deprived of sleep. And when they were deprived of sleep, they died within 2 to 3 weeks. And if you look at that time frame, it's more or less the same time you take to die from starvation. When you don't eat anything, you die. So food and sleep have the same consequences to your body. You can say, I'm eating well, I'm working, I'm making money. No, you will eventually die like the rats within 3 weeks. The same time it takes for you to die if you have no food. 3 weeks is enough for you to die if you don't take anything, your food. Yeah? Researchers have told us that humans, and these humans, it's me and you, we must sleep. We must sleep. And if you do not sleep, you cannot survive. That research said if you do not take food, you will survive longer. But when you do not sleep, you will die earlier. Meaning, humans who go without food can last longer than humans who do not sleep enough sleep. So we need to sleep. There are a number of reasons why sleep is important, and I'll tell you. You need to sleep so that you can recharge your brain. When you sleep, your brain goes to shut down and it starts to repair neurons that have been busy picking information and transmitting the whole day. Yeah? They are repaired, those that are tired, those that are bent, those that are crooked, those that are broken. That is the time they are repaired. Otherwise, if you don't sleep, those repairs are not done, and that means you can just work like an engine that is just on and on, but the productivity is neither here, neither there. When you don't rest well, you can be active, yes, but whatever you're producing with all your 1 month of work, someone else is producing it in 2 days because your brain is not repaired, is not recharged, it does not rest. So yes, it's working because you're forcing it, but then the productivity will be very low. So know how to take care of your brain so that it can recharge. Then you give the brain an opportunity to reorganize data to help find solutions to problems, to process newly learned information, and to organize archive memories. Okay? When you do not give the brain that opportunity to reorganize data, inakaa tu hapo ikichanganyika. Ile uliweka kwa hii file inatolewa hapa, inapelekwa kwa mguu, inatolewa kwa mguu. I'm giving this as an example, not that that's how it works, but I'm giving it a layman explanation so that you understand. Ingine inatolewa kwa akili, inapelekwa kwa kifua, ingine inaenda kwa kindole. My friend, when you are looking for that information later, you will not find it because where it went, the brain cannot find it until that 40 years later uliweka pesa 1 million, hiyo memory ikaenda kwa kindole ya mguu.
You get it? So now huko kwa ceiling ndio uliweka hiyo pesa yako, but now this information is coming 40 years later because kwenye ilienda. Yes, sleep is very important, very very important. Slow down a person's metabolic rate. When you sleep, you slow down your metabolic rate. Saa ile unatoka class, unaenda kwa shamba, unaenda kwa jiko, you go to the shop, you are active. Your body is burning calories. Your body is consuming energy. When you rest, the metabolism goes slow. So the bile goes slow, stops producing bile. Yeah. Your body starts to repair a system of metabolism. Yeah. Your energy is saved for the next day. But if you don't, your metabolic rate is running usiku na mchana like a tractor. Pa, 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 pa. The same way your body runs down. I've seen people that when I began teaching when I was slightly younger. Now I'm older. I was very young those days. People thought I was a student from high school then. I saw people that I found teaching. Today, those years later, I also see some of them that cannot even walk. A lot has happened. And that is why I told myself, I will not work round the clock and die. I will work and rest. Work and rest. Work and rest. I will not work myself like a train, pa 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 pa, non-stop. And I know even my colleagues will tell me, you're a rich one, that's why you're not doing part-time. And I will tell them, I don't know how much money you're making and how much it's helping you. But for me, at this young age of myself, I will be resting so that when I'm older, I will still have some energy for myself and I'll still be able to cope with things that are happening. Having seen how the 10 years, the 15 years have transformed some people because of walking around the crowd. My friend, you're supervising PhD students, master students, you are teaching, you are not having a break. Even the rest I have is still not enough. I wish I can be of rude and some things, You're laughing. You need to rest. And believe you me, have seen people, I can tell you, people need to love themselves a little bit. You rest, take a break, let your body rewind. Here now, I'm referring to your brain and also how you're making, things around you to work. Brain can die if you're not making use of it. So it's important to make sure you're not idle 100%. But even when I go to rest, I do research things that I love at my own time. And that helps me to have the many publications that I have. I would say I have 67 publications to my name. And I'm able to do this because I take a break from teaching and go and do other things. So that even when I come to this class, I'm talking things that people can relate with. They are outside there. You know, you can see it, you can relate. So if I go round and round, I don't know what to update. I don't know what changed from where it was to where because I'm round here, I'm rotating here in one particular spot instead of doing other things. So sleep will do the same thing for you. Allow yourself to sleep. Even my husband knows mimi ninalala. You know? He tells me hata kama ni mchana mi nikijiwekelea I'll sleep and this thing he does not understand. Yes, I told myself from when I was a student, mimi sio kukanyanga maji hapo nikauke nikikuliwa na mosquitoes. Hapana. Hapo mimi siko. Hata kwa hiyo masomo yangu nisome, at a friendly level. Let me take in what my body will take in. What it will not take in, I will not bother myself with it. So I've learned to take things and to let my body and adjust accordingly. We are back to sleep. Sleep is very important. If you don't sleep, you will die faster than the person who is not eating. And then imagine you're not sleeping and you're not eating because you're busy working. You will die faster than COVID will kill people. Yeah? At least take care of yourself and leave the rest to God. But do not run down yourself, your body, your brain, and then you have fewer years to live. Yeah? Or even if you live longer than fewer years, you have complications left, right, and center to deal with. Enable when you sleep, you enable the body to restore mental energy supplies. They get depleted. That energy goes down. Unakaa hapo, macho inauma, kichwa inauma, roho inapiga haraka. Yaani unangoja mwili yako ina shut down. That's the time you realize, well, my body, I need to be careful. Yeah? But then, When you are running it down, you did not remember one day it can fail you and break down and refuse to cooperate with you. When you sleep, you give the cardiovascular system a break. You know your heart is beating pa, 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 pa. Hmm? From morning to evening, daytime to night, 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, round the clock, round the month, round the year. It does not stop beating. But at least when you sleep, you give the system, the muscles around there and everything, you ease. You ease the system. Yeah? Research that has been done says people with normal high blood pressure experience a 20 to 30% reduction in blood pressure and 10 to 20% reduction in heart rate during sleep. That is okay. Replace chemicals and repair muscles. This will happen when you are sleeping, not when you are working round the clock. Hata mwili yako haijui usiku, haijui mchana. When does it replace the chemicals? When does it repair the muscles? Unasimama usiku mchana mpaka ukikanyanga chini miguu huko chini unasikia tu unandungwa. Ukivaa kiatu akivaliki. Ukivaa unaweka mpaka sponge kwa kiatu ndio mguu. Mwili yako inakuambia enough. And you're not paying attention. Your legs are telling you, hey, you've overworked me. If you don't put me up and give me some cushion, to rest upon, the next day I will not walk with you. You will walk with your hand now. When you sleep, you release growth hormones for children and for young adults. And for those that are adults, your growth hormones, the production slows down so you don't age as fast as the person who is not sleeping. So now I don't know, what age are you? What is the average age of the people in this class? 30? Oh, there's someone who is coming now, Grace. We amekuja tukimaliza. We are almost finishing, Grace, but it's okay, you're in. So what is the average age of us people? 30? Okay, the average age is 30. All right. I can tell you, if the average age is 30, you have a long way to go. With the marathon you have set upon your life, at one point you will have to slow down faster. Because if the average age is 30 years, so we are thinking between now and the years that God gives you. Za Mungu ni ngapi? 70. Hata kama you can go up to 100 and something or even 200. But za Mungu za Biblia ni 70. So you have 40 more years. Ask yourself, the feet, the way you are treating them, will they still serve you? The hand, the way you are treating it, will it serve you? Will it continue serving you? Yeah? Yes, Jennifer. Will it continue serving you? Your heart, will it continue pumping blood the same way when you're 70 and 80 and 90? Yeah? Your hand, your eyes, will they be seeing or they will be gone? Those are some of the questions you need to ask yourselves so that you can have knowledge and start practicing what is going to work for you. If you don't have the knowledge, the practice will be affected. So you need enough knowledge on things that are going to affect you so that you can work on improving yourself. When you sleep, you lay down long-term memories. You lay down long-term memories. And this makes it to be important, It becomes important for school success. How much knowledge do you have that has not reached your long-term memory? Because uliacha tu file twingi hanging. Unashika hii. So the whole day your brain is having things on inaitwa saver mode. Yeah, on your working memory. Kwa computer. When you open the gadget you're working on, I don't know how many pages you've opened over there. How many have you opened? Rachel, what are you using? Phone? Computer?
Phone.
Have I hand? Have not. Irene, what are you using?
I'm using a tablet.
I'm seeing people speaking and I cannot hear. Is that? Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, Irene, you can speak. My volume was down. What are you using?
I'm using a tablet.
You're using
a tablet.
In that
a tablet
of yours?
A school tablet.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, you're using a tablet. Sawa. In that tablet of yours, the Google Meet link is on, right?
Yes.
Your WhatsApp chats are on, right?
Yes.
Maybe a message is on. Maybe the pictures are on. Maybe the dialed numbers are on. And we can go on and on talking about the many things. Huyu anakuja saa hizi anaitwa Chombo. Chombo anakuja, hii ni overtime. Ndiye anaingia. Anyway, karibu sana Chombo, lakini tulikuwa tumalize 12 minutes ago. So ni bahati tu umetupata hapa. So now imagine unaruka WhatsApp vitu kama hivyo. So now imagine as you do this you're not closing anything. They are open. Mpaka saa zingine that ka tablet kanaamua kuhang. Because you have opened and then you stopped working on them, you went to open something else, you forgot you even sent a message, you type it after. Kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni message inangoja umalize kutype. You type 5 sentences, you have sentences to. Unakaa mpaka hizo zinaamua kutoa zenyewe zingine ya kuambia memory tumejaa. Delete zingine, fanya hivi, fanya vile. So when you do not sleep, when you do not sleep at long-term memories, zinakaa working surface. Zote ziko zimefungiwa. And now, that is not good when it comes to school success and also to concentration, to mental status. Because unaweza keti umelala unaanza kuongea vitu kama mtu anakupigia simu unaanza kumpatia story yenye si alikuwa anauliza, like someone can call you, unaanza kumwambia hiyo link tulishapatiwa tuko nini, saa hizo hata aulizi mambo ya link, akili yako imehang kwa link. So when someone is talking unamwambia tumeingia hiyo link tushapata, anakuuliza what do you mean? Link gani tena? Unamwambia I thought ni class ulikuwa unauliza, or I thought you are one of my students, or I thought this, or I thought the other. You are thinking because your brain is confused. It's confused because you haven't given it rest so that ukwedi Angeline, you have to put down Rachel what needs to be put down. If you don't put down, your body will behave in a very funny way. Now you will ask, hey, sasa hiyo yote umetuambia, how much sleep do we need? Huh? How much sleep do we need? How much? I do not know. Let me see if we can figure. How much sleep do we need? I'm wondering.
8 hours.
Uh-huh. There you go. Dio, 8 hours. 8 hours seem better if you can sleep it actually. If your life is good. Yeah, someone is saying 7 to 8 hours, someone else is saying 8 hours. Yeah? I'm telling you, for those adults, even those 7 hours saa zingine ni ngumu, because how many of you here 12 inafika na ujalala, you're still working on assignments? You're not working on assignments. Someone is saying the memory is still. I've posted some hours right there for you on some sleeping patterns. Kuna watu wametoka kazi saa hizi, imagine kama huyu James sasa ndiye anaingia. Haya, karibu sana James. Jemo, umejaribu wapi? Wewe umejaribu, utapata recording. I'll give you the recording on the James, are you a student? Ama mna share link na family members?
I'm a student, doctor.
Maureen, is James one of you?
Yes, I'm a student in Mombasa
James,
campus.
are you a student?
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
unajua mnaweza pata when online learning started, wanafunzi walianza kupatia mpaka marafiki zao other universities link. So now
Student.
I will be teaching and every class is recorded. For those that come later, the classes will be recorded and I'll be posting the link on the corresponding topic. So like today's, I will say 27th April link, recording link. So when you go there, you'll be able to access the link and go through the recording. But when you go to the LMS, because ninaona hakuna mtu ameingia hapo hata mmoja, lakini nasikia you're being sorted. So when you go there, the link will be there. But for you to access that link, lazima utumie the student email. So ndio nijue ni wanafunzi tu niko nao. You will only use the KU students email. If you use your personal email, you'll not be able to access the information outside Kenyatta University. So make sure you use the KU email so that because you're registered under KU, a KU student, and the content is for KU, mutumie email ya Kenyatta University when you're accessing the recordings. Otherwise, you'll see the recording, but you cannot open it if you're not using the KU email address. And then I hope sitapata mtu ananiambia sasa mimi nimetumia email personal and it's, I request access. Hiyo tumemalizana, si ndio? Okay. Children require adequate sleep. Yeah? And it's important for them to have a pre-bedtime routine as much as possible. Prepare them for sleep. Yeah? And when you're preparing them to sleep, you can do some few activities. And let me see if I can put some of them here for you. Yes, it can. Yeah. You can do some of those. Now that some people are enjoying using the chat, let me also adopt to using chat kiasi. Yeah, you can calm them down by playing a quiet game together. Yeah, you choose the pajamas to kuvaa, you're preparing them for bed pole pole. Yeah, you brush their teeth, naambia up down, remove the tongue, brush it well, let me see, gargle the water, pour it out. you know you can play some music if you have the time. See what is working for you, mama. Don't feel to be under pressure, and this is the first man we have, James. I was used to mamas around here, so if I call everybody mama, understand, umeingia when women empowerment has been stuck on my head. hmm? Lakini someone is saying at you the African style, wewe lala. No, we need to bond with our children. Huyu si kitu ya kurokota, ni mtoto wako mami. Hmm? You want them to pick good vibes so that the generations that will come after us will be in a position to know what is love and how to express it, how to belong to family. Si majambazi wenye wanauana anyhow. Ukimwambia wewe ingia hapo ama nikugonge kichwa, hata yeye atakwambia when you are older, hii kichwa nitaing'oa and that land will be mine and that house will be mine. This is what when you are ready for sleep, the soft music, si utaona tu mtoto amelala, then sing a lullaby or read a story. If you don't want to play some music, hata utajipata umelala hapo kando, unamfanya alale with the stress and tiredness you are carrying through the day. Utapata hata we kitanda utaongeza ikuwe kubwa kuwa unalala hapo next. Yeah, and then for you as adults, you also need to do enough routine. And this, I'm going to put it there for you, the routine you can do to prepare you for bed. And then I will also say goodbye so that those that are cooking can go and cook, because I promised you the class will end at 7:30. Yeah. So for you can do that. This is a style the Americans do whereby the house lights are set by a sensor. When it's 6, all lights go off. Or when it's 9, you've agreed everybody will go to bed at 9 or at midnight. The sensor is wired. When it's 12, ile saa mmeset, the whole house goes dark. So unapata watu wanakimbizana na the minutes to the hour. If it's 8, if it's 9, if it's 12. Of course for you ukisema 8 you won't, hata utakuwa umeoga, hata utakuwa umemaliza hii class, So maybe 12:1. I normally sleep around 12 and 1, saa zingine even 3, depending on how much work I have. That's why I cannot afford to work around the clock. I have to take a break so that no one can tell me, Dr. Moronge, I'll say, oh, I'm on holiday, my friend. Mimi hizo vitu wacha nipumzike. So when you set up that it goes off, napata watu wanakimbia kumbrush, kuvaa nguo before the light goes off, you'll be left doing those things in the dark. So as adults in the house you can do that, hata watoto wazoee. Depending on the time that works for you. But remember, children will sleep earlier than yourself. Yeah. Then when do they also do homework, those that are schooling? Hiyo ni kizungumkuti ingine. Yeah, make sure children go to bed before you. What else, Angeline? I've posted it there for you guys. Mambo ya kukunywa kahawa, chai na nini na mvinyo. Ukienda kulala utawacha. Sijui mnakunywa nini huko, ni ile kahawa tungu. Ni tungu ama ni chungu? James, mnakunywa nini huko?
Kahawa chungu.
Chungu. Tungu ama tungu?
Tungu.
All right. So then you also need to observe that routine, and when you observe it, all will be well. You will improve your health, you will improve the health of those around you, those in your house, those that you associate with. Let's be mindful of our health. Let's educate others. Let's share the knowledge. Let us continue practicing the skills that we have so that we can help ourselves to be better. You know, you've heard stories of lecturers who died marking. They were found in the office, after 2 days, someone is marking your scripts and dined, and people thought juu wanapita wanaona mtu ameketi hapo kichwa ikiinama, oh, anafanya kazi yake. You do not want, when you're tired, your body says no, watu waseme leo amechoka, wacha alalelale, na kumbe ulienda kitambo na hatujui. So improve your health, do your part, and leave the rest to God. Yeah, I'm not saying when you do all these things, everything will work out for you. You won't get sick. No, but you'll get sick. But at least the sickness may not be to those high magnitudes. Or at least if it was supposed to kill you, it will not kill you because your body will be strong. I remember our registrar academic was from the PE department. He was my neighbor. He was exercising every evening akitoka kwa ofisi, hata kama ni saa 4 ya usiku anatoka ofisi, utamwona amevaa shorts, nguo zake za kuexercise na katawel. He was exercising. But when orientation for first years was being done, he developed a problem and he did not make it. So I'm not saying just because you're exercising, bad things cannot happen to you. Because you're doing what is right, bad things cannot happen to you. But then don't bring things before their time. That's all we are saying. Prolong your life. Do what you're supposed to do and leave the rest to God. Juu wakati yako ikifika, hata kama ni nini ama nini, si utaenda tu. Yes. But then, until then, live a healthier life. That's all we are saying. Improve your health, the health of your family, the health of those under you. Having said that, I've enjoyed this class. I want to appreciate those that came from the start up to the very end. Thank you very much. Thank you, ClassRep, for creating the WhatsApp group because it eases the communication among us. That shows you're a good leader. Whatever questions that you have, you can always have them on the chat. Make sure you go through the videos, the recordings for this class, because I'll post it on the LMS. Whatever questions you might have, post them on the discussion forum. And then on the activities, I don't know how you've been doing your work, but this is my first time to teach you. When you go to the activities, there are discussions, and those discussions forums range from sometimes discussion 1 for one topic up to discussion 2, 3, 4, or even more. Those discussions, that is your work. That is where your third hour. Kazi yako ni kwenda, you watch the videos, you read the links that have been given to you there, you watch the videos, and then you respond to the activity discussions. So the discussions on the lesson 1, discussion 1, discussion 1.1, 1.12, 1.13, 1.14, make sure you discuss them. When you go, see what we have covered today in those activities and discuss all of it. What I've given you, it's different from what is on the activity because you have to participate in watching the videos. But then if you watch the videos and you have a question, you can ask it there on the forum. Ask each other. Remember, discussion is not you posting and going. Discussion is where you say something and someone answers you and then provokes you with another question and you respond and someone else answers. That becomes a discussion. I want to see a lengthy, healthy discussion here. I want to learn new things from you. Also, share what you know that we don't know that can help improve our health so that we can live longer. You know? Ooh, Angelina anatuenjoy hapa. I was sick and now healed. Okay. We thank God. We thank God. We thank God. We will continue learning many more things that we can do together to improve our health. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night and goodbye.
Goodbye, doctor.
Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'm going to end.
Thank you, doctor. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye. I will end the call now. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome.